I suffer from self-sabotage. I got a thing, I get to a point, I make a certain amount of money, I get to a certain amount of busyness, and then it just kicks in. I know it's there. Um, I'm aware of it. I don't know if they have a solution yet, but it shows up in the form of maybe not emailing people as quickly as I should, or getting in contact with people about an upcoming event. All these different ways that it shows up. What do you suggest with people who are cursed with this affliction, how they can deal with it?
Let me answer that with an analogy. The analogy of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Well, in this case, what comes first, the seeing or the believing? What story are you telling yourself? Because as I'm listening to you talking, you're explaining what happens when you get to a certain amount of money. You're explaining all the things that are going to happen. And so that story that you're telling yourself, that's what ends up becoming your belief system. And once it's your belief system, now you begin to see it manifest in your life. Because we don't do what we know, we do what we believe. And so if you believe you're going to hit a certain level and then top out there, and then it's downhill from there, you're going to see that manifest in your life. So I encourage you, what belief system or what story do you want to tell yourself? That's the story that's going to create your life. And you can change that story at any given moment.
So, Sales Navigator definitely helps on LinkedIn. Most people don't know about Sales Navigator. They think it's completely separate from LinkedIn, but it's a tool that LinkedIn provides with more filtered, um, just more filters in order to find that target audience. You can filter through company head size. You can filter through how long someone has had an experience working at a certain company, things of that sort. But the hyper targeting on LinkedIn, what we do with Connected as well as Inbox Gorilla is we do Boolean searches, and so it's just really finding the keywords in the titles of the target that you're looking for and putting it onto the LinkedIn head search there, and making sure you're clicking through people, making sure you're targeting the right industries, the right um, keywords, locations, things of that sort. You really have to tone in on who you're trying to find, who you're trying to target on LinkedIn. Keywords beating anything else that's on their profile. I tell my clients, find some sort of relatability, right, with the prospect that you're reaching out to, and make sure you understand their titles. I think that's the key component. A lot of the time, people overlook that. It's what people have on their headline, on their profile, is what's going to really help you find them a lot better. Same thing for yourself. If you want people to find you, you have to update your headline on your profile to make sure that people can find you for when they're searching for those specific keywords.
What is the last reason that you have on why people don't spend more time on themselves?
We're kind of back to that, spending an hour meditating each day. People think that self-improvement has to be something arduous and not enjoyable. And we spend 80% of our lives in process. We were talking a lot about mindset earlier in the show, which is a perfect segue. I think anything that you accomplish in life is 80% mindset, 20% mechanics. And changing your mindset, it should not be difficult. If you're going to spend 80% of your life in process doing something and only 20% when you reach the goals, the most important thing is enjoying that process. I have a friend who owns a Peak Physique Fitness, and I went to start getting in shape, obviously, in turn for the new year. And I asked him, I said, what is the best exercise to do? And I was expecting him to say, well, the rowing machine uses so many muscles, and, or walking is healthy. And he said, the best exercise you can do is the one you enjoy the most. And why? Because you're most likely to stick with it. The same thing goes for your mental fitness as well. If you're looking to improve your life, it is most important to start with something that you enjoy. I have many different things to choose from that are all customizable in my books, and they're fun because once you gain that momentum and you start with something small you enjoy, you're more apt to bridge off from there and start incorporating other aspects that could improve your life.
That's interesting that they want you to. I mean, that is true. They want you to stay on the platform, but
Yes.
as a business owner, your goal is to try to get them to go to your website or whatever it is that you're offering. So it's kind of have to mix it up a little bit, I think. So that
Yes,
leads
you
to my
have
next
to.
question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that leads to my next question about selling on social media. So do you think it's good to sell on social media, or should you just build the relationships on social media and not sell that often?
Well, you need to. Everything is selling. First of all, like you are selling just in building that relationship and having them understand and learn from you. That comes back to the 21 to 30 touch points. But yes, you need to lead people off of that platform. You just need to be strategic in how you do it. Don't. And we should all know this by now. With Facebook went down 9 hours one day and 5 hours another. There's so many people that build their business on a social media platform, and that is where they run everything. And that's where, and I have a client that does this, and I'm hoping that she finally will stop. But I'm like, if Facebook disappears, you have nothing. All that you've built is gone. So you need to be driving them off onto either a call that you can add them to your database or to a mailing list, because you own that email list. You own nothing on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. You don't own any of that. You may have filmed the videos, but they own it once you upload it, and they can do what they want with it, and they can disappear in a minute. So when you're selling, you need to make that connection, because like I said, people buy from people with solutions. They're not looking for products, they're looking for solutions to what's going on. But you need to have ways, and there's ways of putting it in your profile, of sharing a link every once in a while, of having a discussion in your comments and inviting them to a one-to-one. Networking. Social media is just a part of that figure. And you can't not sell, because then there's the other extreme where people are just posting funny memes and, like cat videos. And they're like, oh, everybody loves me. I have 20,000 followers, but nobody knows what you sell. So it's like, I want to buy from you, but I don't understand what you're selling. So it's a fine line in between. But I think one thing we need to remember is that's called social media. So you need to be social, you need to be engaging, but you need that media that not only attracts people, but helps them understand what you do so that you can serve them.
That's awesome.
We did or didn't?
We did.
We did?
Yes.
Okay. So how should business owners approach building their business plan?
All right. So it doesn't all have to happen today. Okay. So as you build your business plan, this should be over the entire fourth quarter. And really it starts in September. So this is really where I want to spend a little time on, because there's different parts of the business planning process that everyone should be focused on. Okay. So the first one, which technically we like to have happen in September, but I'm okay if this happens early October. What we need to be focused on right now, though, is our vision and our long-term goals. And that's like our 3, 5, and 10-year goals for the business. What I don't want us focused on right now is what's going to happen today, what's going to happen by the end of the year. While those are very important, when we're in business planning phase, the vision, and this is where a lot of people really lose where the I guess this is the first stage of that business planning process. So if we think our vision is, we got to be thinking bigger, longer term, our big, hairy, audacious goals, right? So like continue to build this out, your long-term vision. Where do you see the business going? Where do you see it shifting? That's the high level internal thoughts that you need to be having with yourself today. The other piece of that is, okay, in the next year, what do I need to do from a macro goal perspective to stay on pace for my 3, 5, and 10-year goal? So that should already be done. And if not done, I would say in the next 2 weeks, really be focused on having a very clear vision, breaking that down. Ask yourself why 2 or 3 times. Why is this my vision? Why is this important? Why is this important to my customer? And continue to drive that down, and then start working backwards and build out our big goals for next year. In October, this is the month that we're approaching, right? So what we should be focused on right now is our KPIs, our key performance indicators. So as a business owner, whether you're a solopreneur or you have a team of 100, right? You should be building out KPIs that align with your long-term 3, 5, and 10-year vision and what you have to do next year to achieve that. So your KPIs could be sales conversion. If that's like something that you know is going to drive your business forward, that would be a great KPI in your business. I can get into other examples of KPIs, but KPI building happens in October. As we move forward into November, we want to focus on prioritizing how we're going to go to business. And then in December, we need to start implementing. That change has to start in December. If you have a team, you have to start like getting the team on board, showing them what's going to change, what's going to happen different here. And then come January 1, you're off and running. So you don't want to be behind the 8 ball going into end of January, early February, and you haven't really explained this to your team yet. You're already missing quarter 1 of your goals. That's why this has to happen today.